Good evening, Marion County. Whew. Whew. They say, Chad, you look rough. I kind of feel rough, to be honest with you. But we're here. We're here for our 6th ever question and answer live event. We're going to buzz through it tonight. I've got 3 topics that we really need to touch on because it is December 30th. That means tomorrow is New Year's Eve. And New Year's is a big time at the clerk world because that's the deadline on several big things. So, welcome to tonight's stream. Welcome if you're watching after it's recorded. If all is going well, and I think it's going well according to what I can see right here, we're streaming live simultaneously on our Facebook page at www.facebook.com/Marion County Clerk Office and our YouTube channel at www.com/@Marion County Clerk Office. We're here as an outreach and educational interactive effort. Like I say, tomorrow's a big day in clerk world, and we just want to make every effort we can to try to help educate what's going on, what we do here at the clerk office, the responsibilities that we have. If you've got a question about anything that we talk about or anything that we're not talking about, something that we need to talk about, feel free to give us a call or put it in the chat. With the technology we have, it looks like I can see the comments of this stream on Facebook. I can see them on YouTube too. I'm not. YouTube is more for posterity. The views come from Facebook generally, but I can see the chat. I think if I'm not answering your chat, don't hesitate to give us a holler on our live line here. You can't hear the dial tone there, but we can take your question live. Your question is important. Rosie and Randy there on the on the image, they're not scared to ask their question, and it helped other people. But Richard was scared, and the thing that would have helped the most never got asked. Your question's important to us. Your question's important to your fellow Marion Countyans, so if you've got one, don't hesitate to ask. Like I say, tomorrow's December 31st. On the screen now, you'll see our December calendar. We're working the eves this year, not the days after, so we were here on Christmas Eve last week. We'll be here on New Year's Eve tomorrow. We won't be here Friday or Saturday. We're here every Saturday except for holiday Saturdays. And since the state and county schedule is Thursday and Friday, we will be gone Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We'll be back Monday the 5th. We'll start with why that's important for motor vehicles. It's important for motor vehicles because tomorrow's the last day for December renewals, December 31st. If you got a December renewal after tomorrow, they will be delinquent. We will be here tomorrow. You can renew online. Let me put that up there. You can renew online with the state's website tonight or tomorrow, up through tomorrow night. I think after tomorrow night, you won't be able to renew online. No, I see Connie Osborne asking about the property, the title watch. Yes, ma'am. I will. I'll put that. I hadn't planned on talking about that tonight, but I will definitely do that. I've got it queued up here to where I can. So yeah, tomorrow is the deadline to renew December renewals. Why that's important this year? We're going to be out the 1st and the 2nd and the 3rd and the 4th. The 5th is Monday. We'll be here back on Monday, and that's the last day before the state imposes penalties and interest The first 5 days is the same price, but on the 6th day, the state will add penalties and interest to those December renewals. If you've got a October, November, June renewal, then there's already penalties and interest. But if you've got a December renewal, tomorrow will be the last day, and Monday you can also renew without penalties and interest. After tomorrow, you will be technically expired. It's not something that I'll recommend you do, is ride around on expired tags, but Monday you can renew those without penalties and interest, and you can do that online at it's drive.ky.gov. But if you want to bypass a whole lot of clicking and linking and stuff, you can go directly to that secure.kentucky.gov/KYTC/renewal. If you don't want to type that in, if you go to our Facebook page and scroll down on our post, you're going to see several where we've got the direct link on a post. But yeah, you can renew online or tomorrow and not be delinquent. We'll be here from 8:20 to 4:20 tomorrow, and then on Monday you can renew without any penalties or interest. December 31st, it's a big deadline with the election next year. The election, talking about the primary election process was one of the reasons that we started these live events, just to make every effort to try to explain that. And one of the big deadlines with primary elections is coming up tomorrow. So a primary election, it's on the first Tuesday after the third Monday in May. Primary elections are different than general elections. In a general election, you can vote for any party that you choose, regardless of how you're registered. If you're registered as a Republican, you can vote for Democrats. If you're registered as a Democrat, you can vote for Republicans, and you can vote Democrat on one, Republican on another, Independent on another. That's in a general election. In a primary election, primary elections are nominating elections. They are an election for the parties. You have to be a member of the party to participate in the primary election. They're closed to qualified registered members of the party. And to be qualified, a voter must be a registered member of the party by December 31st of the year preceding the primary. December 31st, that's tomorrow. So if you're already registered to vote in the state of Kentucky, after tomorrow, the party you're registered as is the party that you will be able to participate in their primary. And a voter can only vote in one party's primary. The choice of which party you can participate in must be made by the end of the day tomorrow. In person, that's 4 o'clock. On the govote.ky.gov, the state's voter registration portal, that's all the way up. As long as it's December 31st, then you can do it at 11:58 tomorrow night, and you'll be okay. I know there's some people that are going to be debating it up until that time, but the portal will be open. But anything that comes in after at noon, on January 1st, if you change your party affiliation after December 31st and you're already registered, it knocks you out of both primaries, because to stay qualified, a voter must stay continuously registered as a member of that party until the primary. So tomorrow is the big day to choose which party you want to participate in the primary election. And one of the major factors is what's on the ballot in the May primary. Federally, we have the U.S. Senate seat that's been held by Mitch McConnell for my entire life. Senator McConnell is not seeking re-election, so for the first time we'll have someone that's not Senator Mitch McConnell as that senator in Kentucky. We'll also have our congressman in the 1st District, James Comer. On the state level, our state senator, Jimmy Higdon, our very own Marion County has announced that he will not be seeking re-election, that he's going to finish his term next year but won't be seeking re-election. So that's going to be a seat that is going to be contested. And there's a lot of people that have local interest in the candidates that have declared their intentions to run for that seat. And to vote in certain primaries, you have to be registered as a member of that party. Our state representative is Sarge Pollock out of Campbellsville. I haven't heard of any competition in that, but those filings take place at the Secretary of State's office because they are multi-county offices. They file at the county clerk or at the Secretary of State office. Also on the ballot next year will be offices that file here at the county clerk office. Those are your county and local offices. The ones in the primary will be your partisan county offices. That won't include your city mayors or commissioners because those are nonpartisan. Their filing deadline doesn't come until June, but the filing deadline for county offices is January the 9th, and those include property valuation administrator, county judge executive, county attorney, sheriff, jailer, coroner, county clerk, county surveyor, and our 5 magistrate districts. We'll see who's filed so far. If you were here last week, we did our 5th live event on the 23rd. We're trying to get as many as we can in before the end of the year because, like I say, the end of the year is very important. The candidate filings haven't changed since then. This is in order of filing. So on the first day that filing could take place, Tina Wright Huntsberger for jailer was here first. Jackie Fogel for magistrate in District 4. Ray Gardner for sheriff. David Darty for county judge executive. Tony Furman for jailer. Craig Allen Bishop for magistrate District 3. Larry Schnook Mattingly, magistrate District 2. Joe Pat Kirkland, magistrate District 1. Jeff Cowell, sheriff. Chad G. Mattingly, county clerk. Terry Catfish Rakes, property valuation administrator. Caleb Buckman, magistrate District 5. And R. Allen Mattingly for coroner. Those are who have filed locally so far. The filing deadline again is tomorrow, or the filing deadline for office is next Friday, January the 9th, but the registration to choose your party for which party you're going to participate in their primary is tomorrow. Looking at our voter registration data, as of this morning, 70 out of the 13,533 total registered voters in Marion County, 7,549, 55.78% are registered as Democrat. 5,102 are registered as Republican. That's 37.7%. And then our third parties, other, 461, 3.4%. Independent, 375, 2.77%. Libertarian, 35 of them at 0.26%. 5 Green parties, 3 Constitution, 3 Socialist Workers, and 1 Reform. So what does, let's look at how that's changed over in the past week. It looks like there are 13 more Republicans and 20. No. Shoot, it's been a long day. And these numbers are small on my screen. Six less Democrats. Yeah. 13 more Republicans, 6 less Democrats. We've gained a Libertarian in the last week. We've gained an Independent in the last week. No, we've lost an Independent in the last week. That's last week's. This is uh, some incredible live streaming right here. Me doing math and clicking between these two slides. It's amazing. Yes, broadcasting. Which other one had we lost? Oh, we lost. No, we gained a socialist worker. Huh, interesting. But that's our numbers. So what's that mean? That's the important part. The numbers are one thing. What it means is another, is the most important part. If this were January 1st, that means that 7,549 voters out of the 13,533 in Marion County would be eligible to participate in the Democrat primary. They wouldn't be eligible to participate in the Republican primary. There are 5,102 registered voters in Marion County out of the 13,533 that would be eligible to vote in the Republican primary. Again, you can only vote in one, at the bottom there, a voter can only vote in one party's primary. And it can be confusing. And we get the question every primary election. Somebody that I wanted to vote for was not on my ballot. Something was wrong with my ballot because the person I wanted to vote for wasn't on there. But they weren't on there because that person was running in a primary for the other party. So again, if today was January 1st, 7,549 people would get a primary election ballot with Democrat candidates on it, and 5,102 would get a primary ballot with Republican candidates on it. What about the others and the independents and the libertarians and the green parties and the Constitution and the socialist workers and the reforms? That math. Let's see, we're talking about that's 7% of people, 7% of registered voters in Marion County wouldn't get either the Democrat candidates or the Republican candidates. They wouldn't get a ballot with either of those because they're not registered members of those parties. So they wouldn't be able to participate in either the Democrat or the Republican primary. And the Republicans would vote for Republican candidates. Democrats would vote for Democratic candidates in the primary. And then those two parties send their candidates to the general election. So that's how that works. And we're going to try to... Here's why I think it's important. There are people on the other parties, in the other party's primary, that I personally want to vote for. But I won't be able to. If I wasn't running for office this time, then I would want to participate in the other party's primary. And I think there's going to be people out there like that in Marion County that are like me, that have people in both primaries that they want to vote for. But we've got to make that choice before the end of the day tomorrow. And I just want to try to stress that as much as possible. It's the system that Kentucky law has established, and that's the system that we'll abide by here in Marion County. So that's our voter registration breakdown right there. That's a week ago, and that's earlier this month. If you're not registered to vote, if you haven't registered to vote yet in the state of Kentucky, then you've got until April 20th to register to vote. At which point you can pick your party at that point. The deadline to register to vote for new registrants is April the 20th. And you only have to be 18 by the November general election. You don't have to be 18 by the primary election. You have to be 18 by the November general election. There's two ways to do that. There's a increasingly long, the form now is, it used to be on a little postcard size half sheet, the voter registration card. Now it's on a full sheet. It's basically the same information. It just looks more daunting. If you're a new registrant, voting or doing that online or in person is just about the same amount of time. If you just need to update your address or your party affiliation, the easiest and quickest way to do it, especially for someone that has enough tech savvy about them to watch a live stream on Facebook or YouTube, is online. You can go to govote.ky.gov. Make sure it's that ky.gov that you go to. Don't give that personal information to any other .orgs or .coms. If it's not ky.gov, then it's not the right website. And you can register to vote there, just quick, fast, and simple. That QR code that we posted earlier on Facebook takes you right to it, and that's the same QR code on that slide that's on your screen at this point. Or come by here. The deadline tomorrow is 4 o'clock here. The deadline online is tomorrow evening. So if you do it online, make sure that your screen looks like this. The desktop, laptop versions there at the bottom, you're going to be looking for a website that looks like that. If you're doing it on your phone, then the mobile version looks like the ones on the right hand side of that slide that's on the screen right now. And if you got any questions, don't hesitate to give us a call during normal hours, 8:20 to 4:20 at 270-692-2651. If you got a question right now, the phone is right beside me. We'll take the call right here in the stream. If you've got the question, I'm sure somebody else does too. Marion County, we're lucky to have extended hours during early voting during the presidential election last year. We were one of two counties that had 12 hours each day of all 3 early voting days. we had vote centers in 12 locations in Marion County. Great coverage on election day, and that's only made possible by our precinct election officers, our poll workers. We have the best in the state, and if you would like to join them, come on down. We'll get you signed up. It doesn't take much. It probably takes less time to sign up as a poll worker than it does to register to vote. Both of them need about the same information, but for those that have been on the roster before, expect a letter sometime probably in February. The County Board of Elections will be finalizing the election plan for next year, coming up towards after filing deadline. So we'll be in touch with our precinct election officers about if they would like to rejoin us this year and make that county line to county line election day coverage and possible. It wouldn't be possible without our poll workers, and I'm so very thankful for them. I'm sure you are too when you go to vote. They'll get you in and out as quick and as fast and as accurate as possible. Same way with the crew that works here at the office here on the front line. We try to get you out as quick and as cheap as possible here at the County Clerk Office. And we'll be doing that again tomorrow. That'll be our last day of 2025. And then we'll be back on Monday the 5th. Before we get out of here, I think I'm actually going to do it in 30 minutes today unless somebody calls us. The good folks upstairs in the county judge's office, I said, hey, do you got any kind of calendar that I could and they've had this posted on Facebook as well. With the holiday, it's always a big question, when does my garbage run? And this time, I'm a Thursday. My garbage generally runs on Thursday at the house. So tonight when I get home, I'm going to set it out. That way it's good and early, because Thursday garbage will run tomorrow alongside the Wednesday garbage. There will be a double up day, so they're going to be getting out early to try to hit 2 days in 1 day. And then they're going to be doing the same on Monday. If you're normally a Friday garbage day, the garbage will run next Monday, the 5th. I'm going to put our schedule back up here. If nobody has any questions, I just want to stress, if you need to update your voter registration, do so by tomorrow, the end of the day. If you've got a December renewal on your vehicle, either do that online tonight or tomorrow, or come in. We'll be here all day tomorrow. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of other people here with you all day tomorrow, because something I got to stress tomorrow, taxes, anything that's in your name January 1st is what you'll be taxed on next year. So if you've got a vehicle that needs to be transferred or a title that needs to be junked, bring that on in here tomorrow. That way we can get that taken care of. That way you don't have a tax bill in 2026. The way taxes work on vehicles, on January 1st, anything that's in your name gets taxed. People with January birthdays, they go ahead and pay that tax. People with farm tags, they pay it in March. People with July birthdays, they pay it in July. We've got people that are coming in right now that are paying 2025 taxes that were levied against their vehicle on January 1st of 2025. They're paying it right now. So it's whatever you own January 1st. Something you buy, that if you buy something next week in January the 2nd, January the 7th, say, you don't get a property tax bill on it for that year because you didn't own it January 1st. You'll pay the sales tax, but you won't. Ideally, you would sell everything on December the 31st and buy it back on January the 2nd. You would never have to pay a property tax on a vehicle, but that's not realistic, really. So yeah, I'm going to put the renewal up there one more time. And it's 6 o'clock. I'm getting ready to head to the house. Actually, I got a little bit more bookkeeping stuff to do here that I didn't get done before we went live. And then I'm going to head to the house, see my family, and from my family to your family, we want to wish y'all a happy new year. On behalf of all of my amazing co-workers that I get the pleasure of working with every day, we want to wish you all a happy new year. We want to thank you for allowing us to serve you, and it's an honor. And Marion County is the best county in the state, and we're lucky to be able to serve our fellow Marion Countyans. So, Happy New Year to you. I pray that this upcoming year finds you healthy and prosperous and happy. And if you need us, come holler at us right here at 223 North Spalding Avenue in Lebanon. Call us at 270-692-2651. I'm Chad Mattingly, the luckiest clerk in Kentucky, your county clerk, wishing you a wonderful night and a very happy New Year. What about that Marion County flag there? I love it. Oh. You know who's the best in the entire world? Out of all the people. I mean, y'all are great. The people out there in Marion County are great, but there ain't none better than my wife. Oh, bless you, Caitlin. Because guess what, Connie? I'm so sorry. You had a question, and I said I was going to look at it and talk about it. And then I just went on out of here without talking about it. But you know who's got your back? My wife. Caitlin's got your back. She just texted me. She said, "Did you go over Connie's question?" And I hadn't. But here we go, because there's, let's start here. Miss Connie has been interested in our free title watch system. This is something new. This is something that not every county has, and the ones that do don't have it for free. Or some of them, a lot of them do. Some of them don't. But it is something that we're offering now through our website, which is free. Free access to land records, the same internal system that you would see here at the clerk office if you came to the deed room is available online for free. It's our free online land record search. You'll see it if you on your screen there, right under News Center. You see the arrow pointed to visit our free online deed room. That's you've got the ability to look by, and I wished I'd thought about this earlier. Right as soon as we were closing, somebody called and was wanting to know some information about this house. And I was trying to figure out a way to, with the information that they had, help them find what they were looking for. And I just couldn't do it. I couldn't get enough they didn't have enough information to I couldn't figure it out. But our online deed room now has the ability to look by grantors and grantees, like always. If you go back to the 1863 indexes in here, that's how deeds have always been found, is by grantors and grantees. You can also look by book and page number. So if you know that your deed is in book 373, page 161, then you can find it that way. Well, what we've got now is the ability to do an IntelliSearch. It'll search not only the grantors and grantees, but also the description that we put in the index, and it'll look at the scanned images. So if you want to find every document that has something to do with a certain address, if that address is in that scanned image, then it'll find it. Now, it completely changes how you can look at for land records. I was talking to the vendor the other day, and I told him about a time that it didn't work quite right for me. So you still want to search by grantor and grantee, but it's an incredible tool. It's a local surveyor and I were looking for a piece of ground one day, and by using date and we finally pinpointed where this funky deed was. But what Connie's asking about, and what my wife so graciously reminded me about, was our title watch system. What this does, it's a system that to go in our deed room, you don't have to do any kind of paywall, you don't have to log in, you don't have to do any kind of account whatsoever. It's just free, anonymous, check out all the land records. But with Title Watch, you do have to create an account. And the reason you're creating an account is because you're signing up for a system that will send you notifications to either by text message or by email if something happens with a keyword that you put in. So you can, and keyword, most people are using names as keywords. Like I can set it up to do a title watch to where anything that anytime a document comes in that has anything to do with Chad Mattingly, I'm going to get a notification, or my wife, or you can do your parents or your children, you know, if you want to make sure. And what this helps is for, so we've got a mortgage that's sitting in our e-recording right now that I have, we haven't processed it yet. And I'm sure it's all right, but it just hasn't. I'm 98% sure that everything about it passes the requirements of what it takes to record a mortgage. But it come in through our e-recording, and there's just parts of it that just smell to me. It doesn't feel right, and I don't want to reject it. I want the person that's recording it to give us a call, is what I'm fishing for. So if you're out there watching and you sent in a mortgage and we haven't recorded it yet, then give us a call and we'll talk about it. But what the title watch system will do is, let's say that this mortgage isn't quite right. It would notify the person who owns the land, if they had an account set up and a title watch on their property, that there was a document, that there was an instrument recorded that had something to do with them. Now, does it keep that from being recorded? It doesn't keep it from being recorded, but it's a whole lot better to know that somebody has put a mechanic lien on your property, or that you had some kind of credit card judgment lien or something put against your property. It's a whole lot better to know it immediately than it is to know it in 3 years, or in 5 years, or in 2 years whenever you get some kind of foreclosure notice, or God forbid somebody takes deed to something in a fraudulent manner. It's extremely, extremely, extremely rare. But like this mortgage that I was talking about, it's fishy. I'm sure it's okay. I just want to talk to somebody live on the other end that says, we sent this mortgage in, and make sure that it's not fraudulent, because we don't want anything fraudulent to happen to any of our any of our neighbors, our friends, and our family. But we can't, if it's legally recordable, then we're going to most likely record it. A way for you to watch for yourself using our technology is through that title watch system. The QR code on the screen will take you directly to the login for that, or you can look for that blue box with the American flag on it on our website at Marion County Clerk KY.gov and sign up for it. And if anybody's got any questions about it, don't hesitate to give us a call down here. We're learning about it as well. It's fairly new, but we wanted to offer something that is tied into our vendor that we do our recording with, our indexing software. There's no better partner than them on keeping track of what we record, and we wanted to offer it free, and we wanted to offer it. It's fairly easy to use. We've got a local investment advisor that is advising their clients to use the system, and hopefully we can help them get those set up. So that's our title watch system. Connie, if you want to know any more about it, don't hesitate to give us a call. And at some point next year, we will do a live event that just talks about it. For now, though, we'll end with one more reminder. Tomorrow's the 31st. If If you're going to change your party affiliation or need to update your address or anything, tomorrow's a good day to do that. It's the deadline to set your party affiliation, your party membership, on which party you're going to participate in next year's primary. And it's also the deadline to renew your December renewals on your vehicles. Also, you want to get any vehicles out of your name. If you've got anything sold that still needs to be transferred or junked and you still need to turn the title in, tomorrow is the day to do it. We'll be here for you here at the County Clerk Office in Marion County from 8:20 till 4:20. Also, if you've got Thursday garbage pickup, set that out tonight. They're going to pick yours up on Wednesday alongside the Wednesday pickup. If you've got Friday garbage pickup, you'll set it out Monday, and they'll double up on Monday as well. Is there anything I'm missing? I don't think so. I do appreciate y'all tuning in or watching beforehand. Hopefully this is of some use. And once again, from all of us, my beautiful wife, yes ma'am, Amy. Amy keeps that fiscal court Facebook page up to date. If you need any, there's all kinds of county offices that have good information on Facebook and try to get it out to the local media. The Marion County Fiscal Court is always keeping you up to date. Emergency management, the Career Center, lots of good things going on in Marion County. There's a fiscal court meeting tomorrow. I need to not forget about that. I'm going to not forget about that. That's my pledge to y'all, is that I'm going to not forget to go to the fiscal court meeting tomorrow. Big day tomorrow. Come see us if you need us. If you don't need us, bless you and your families. Here's wishing you a happy, healthy, and prosperous 2026. I'll be back. I'm planning on being back tomorrow at the, thank you, Amy. I need all the reminders I can get. I'm going to try to remind you to remind me. I want to do this again. We're going to keep doing it even after this December 31st deadline. Not weekly, probably, but at some point. I'm planning on doing it again after next week sometime. We're going to get through next week, and then we're going to come back on. Keep everybody up to date and answer any questions that you got. Here's wishing you a Happy New Year. I got to go home. Love y'all. What about that Marion County flag? I love it. God, I love it.